Hello everybody, my name is Ryan, and welcome back to another Top 10 Urban Legends. This time we'll be tackling Missouri. I'm not from here, but I have lived here for a while, so we're going to see what kind of scary stuff they got on in this state. Also, I know it's been a little while since the last Urban Legend, but figured I'd try to bring this back, and as well, I'm going to start reading stuff at the end of the video of comments that y'all guys left for the last ones. So always leave your comment down below, and let's get into it. Starting off on our number 10 count, we got the Devil's Chair. The Devil's Chair, or Haunted Chair, is a common legend, but the one specific to Missouri involves what is known as the Barge Chair in Kirksville at the Highland Park Cemetery. The legend goes that those who sit in the chair at midnight or Halloween or during a full moon, depending on the version of the story, will either be punished or rewarded for their bravery. Another suggests that a hand will rise from a grave and drag you down into hell. Since all devil's chairs are in cemeteries, it's easy to imagine getting spooked by such a tale. However, in truth, the chairs are most likely placed there as monuments or just places for mourners to sit. But how likely are you willing to go at midnight to sit on that chair and find out for yourself? Creeping up on number 9, we have the Exorcist House. Now, I bet a lot of us have seen the movie, but the real version of the story is of a young boy who was possessed. His family came to stay here at this house at 8435 Roanoke, where he was visited by a priest, where they witnessed his bed shaking and objects flying across the room. The priest received permission from the archbishop to perform the exorcism, and they began here, before moving to Election Brothers Hospital in South City. Now, when I first moved to this state, I was genuinely freaked out because my family told me about it, and I wanted nowhere near that place at all. Stalking in on the number 8 count, we have Zombie Road. The stories associated with Zombie Road outside of St. Louis are many. While the original name of the road was Lawyer Ford Road, it started being referenced as Zombie Road in the 50s. This is perhaps due to the stories of a zombie killer, creepy guy who lived in a shack in the woods and would attack young lovers looking for a place to be alone. As the years passed, the chilling story continued, including ghosts, vanishings, and strange noises. One of the most spine-tingling may be the frequently retold story about a ghost of a man who was hit by a train and now haunts the area. Another legend says that a man was struck by a train and that sometimes people will see him walking near the tracks and reenacting the moment he got hit. This story is made more believable by the fact that there is constant fog covering the little dips and valleys of this dark, winding road near Bluebird Park. Now, I thought about going down there myself, to be honest with you. I kind of heard it got turned into a track 4C area where people go through constantly. I decided against it. If we ever do, I'll make sure to get a video of us down there. Resting in at our number 7 count, we got the dead body under the bed. The legend goes that a couple checked into a hotel and throughout the night noticed a strange odor. Upon further examination, a dead body is found stuffed into the box spring. The couple has been sleeping above it all night. The spooky part is the story has actually happened in a few places, including Kansas City. The body of a man was found in the Carpe Motel in 2003. In this case, the man has been staying in a smelly motel for 3 days. Now, I don't know about you folks, but I definitely will be checking my beds whenever I check into a motel. Now then, moving on to our number 6 spot, we have the Southeast Missouri State University in Cape Girardeau. It was said, around the finals in the Chaney Hall, a girl living on the 3rd floor couldn't handle the stress and committed suicide in her bathtub. It has been told that no matter how hard they scrubbed, the blood would not come out of the tub, so instead of replacing the tub, they opted to build a shelf over it. Now, there have been strange noises coming from the room and doors slamming itself when left open. As for the music hall, lights and shadows have been seen and doors have been slamming as well. Witnesses have seen figures walking down the hall that dissolve when people get close, and heard doors slamming as though they have been slung against the door frame. Investigations proved all doors locked, and because of how the building was built and situated, it is easy to tell if someone has been in that building. Brewing into the number 5 spot, we have the Lemp Mansion in St. Louis. A once famous brewery turned inn, the Lemp Mansion is not only home to lagers and great food. Spirits are also said to inhabit the old home, with origins dating back to the Lemp's troubles beginning in 1901, where Frederick Lemp, the favorite son of founder William Lemp, died at the age of 28. This was a major blow to the father and head of the Lemp family, who soon became recluse before taking his own life on February 13, 1904. The daughter of the Lemp also committed suicide in her own home by shooting herself, only to be found by her brother. Will, doing the same thing, another member of the family, Charles Lemp, also shot himself because of the bloody history. Restless spirits do seem to still inhabit the mansion, with several paranormal investigations being held within the halls. Now, a bed and breakfast. Guests report cold spots, electrical failures, a feeling of deep sorrow, tapping on their shoulders, and strange objects in their photos. Now, I actually have a story for you about this one. I have a friend that actually stayed a night there. I asked her about it. I don't remember exactly the whole story though. But once she told me that when she was staying the night there, she went out to smoke. And when she came back, she actually felt like she was being followed. That while she was drifting off to sleep, she could have sworn she saw a little girl at the foot of her bed. Ticketing it at the number 4 spot, we got the Werenberg Arnold 14 Cinema. Ever since the place was built, there has been said to be an evil presence by people now and again. As years pass, the most common things to be reported are, during the movies, a sudden bone-chilling wind that comes from nowhere. People have felt an unseen thing touch them. Workers that come in at midnight to clean have seen shadows and ghostly figures traveling the hallway in auditoriums. And lastly, a reflection of a bloody and disfigured people in the mirrors in the bathroom. Now, I actually used to work at the movie theater in Arnold, and I will admit, I have heard all of those except for the last one with the mirrors. We also used to have a few managers that play with the Ouija board upstairs in booth area. As well as the managers, and I don't like going through theaters 9 through 12 upstairs in the booth without there being lights on or another person with us. The place just makes us feel uneasy. Not only that, I actually have one extra story for you folks about this place, but I'll have to wait till the end to let you guys know that. Crossing through on our number 3 count, we got the 7 Gates of Hell in Collinsville, Illinois. Now, I know this one is Illinois, but with the way the borders work, it's apparently Missouri. Never understood how much of it, but let's go on with it. These gates are graffiti-covered railroad bridges, and it's said that even if you drive under them in a specific order and pass beneath the 7th gate exactly at midnight, it will open a portal to hell and you can momentarily glimpse the lake of fire. Suburban kids looking for a thrill have been crossing the river to chase this devil since the 1990s, and as far as we know, nobody has seen the dark side quite yet. But who knows, you might be lucky enough to glimpse into it and see for yourself. Are you willing to take that chance? Diving into our number 2 count, we got the Creve Lake. There is a cliff near the entrance of the Creve Park, where it is said that a native woman committed suicide long ago by jumping from the cliff into the water below. She was distraught because her husband had been gone on a long hunting trip and died on the way home. She flung herself off the cliff and can apparently still be heard crying there frequently. It's said that at night, with a full moon looking on the cliff, from a boat in the water, you can see her ghost committing the same act. Now then, cursing us from the number 1 spot, we have Molly Crenshaw. Known as one of the most famous ghost stories in the St. Louis area, there are a few variations of this urban legend. One says she was a voodoo priestess back in the 1800s, whose villagers blamed and hung, saying that she caused a bad harvest with her witchcraft. Another story says that she cast voodoo spells on people before she murdered them, though all stories end the same, saying she put a curse over her grave, threatening anybody that touches her grave would die a horrible death. In the legend, it is said that people were so afraid of her that they chopped her into pieces and buried her in different spots so that she can never rise again. Now, you can go and try to search for the grave yourself, but be warned. One tale says that 2 teenagers out looking for her grave have stumbled upon it, and when authorities arrived, they were impaled in the graveyard fences. So as promised, I have one more story for you about the movie theater. So one day I was in the back doing stock, and there was only 2 other people working, person in box, person in concession, and me. I was supposed to do stock, and I'm in the back, just putting up stuff. And the guy, it was a slow day, and the guy in concession was actually up front. My manager was upstairs taking care of projection work and booth work. And I was actually doing it, and out of nowhere I thought I heard footsteps behind me, which was weird because no one that can get into that room without me noticing it, because the door was right in front of me and I was looking straight ahead, and it was probably about a good 4 or 5 feet behind me. I thought, maybe someone was walking by. I looked out, no one. I went back to working, and then a few minutes later I heard what sounded like a muffled scream, which really freaked me out because I thought maybe like someone fell or one of the movies has started and it was extremely loud. Ran out. The guy was up front that was supposed to be watching concession because, like I said, he was just doing stuff, and our stock came early. We haven't even opened doors yet. So none of the movies have been playing yet, and our manager was upstairs over by like the far end of the building. I started freaking out, and I could not figure out what it was. We checked the camera, nothing. Another thing that happened to my manager was, while he was upstairs using the restroom, he thought me and another person was up there running back and forth. The thing is to get upstairs, you have to have a key. We didn't have a key. The managers had the key to get upstairs. So there was no possible way for us to get up there unless we ran all the way to one of the other theaters, pulled the ladder down, climbed up. But by that time, we were already open, and we had people in, and you could we checked the cameras, and we were both out in concession, just cleaning behind it and taking care of people, while he heard people running back and forth. So we have no clue what was going on there. We actually called a spirit there Rachel. No reason, idea why. All we know is that the movie theater was built upon the Trail of Tears. Alright, I'm going to start reading comments from the last couple of ones we had. I'm only going to read a few of them. So, just make sure to leave comments down below about it. We have one from JJ Taylor saying, my mom and just about her whole side of my family is from Amityville, Alabama. And I can remember growing up and them scaring the shit out of us with the story of hugging Molly just to keep us from being outside at night, so they sat out and got drunk. Crazy that I didn't really know it was a real legend. Well, JJ, maybe they were trying to scare you. Maybe they want to make sure you just didn't go out and party. I don't know. But hopefully, you can pass that on to, your siblings if you have any that are younger, nieces or kids yourself, and, give them a scare. Another one we have is Mary Constance Seibert. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I am sorry. It says, most of them in the beginning are in my city. If most of them were in your city, I would probably never leave my house. I would be too scared at night to go out and see any of that stuff happening. Sheila Watson says, I live 16 miles from Red Level. I won't be going to that church. I do not blame you, Sheila. I would not be going near that church at all either. Now these are coming from the Arizona one. First up, Luna Star. Wow, I never knew my state had so many legends, but there is one that you missed. It's called the Tin Man on a Mountain. Luna, if you could tell me what a Tin Man on a Mountain is, I would love to know, because I've actually was researching that place. Could not find anything about it at all. So please, let me know if you have anything. We got another one from 999 Gag Spams. Love the video, bro. I was just in the antique mall and heard stuff banging around. If I was in an antique mall and I heard stuff banging around and there was no one else there, I'd start moving away, because I've been in an antique mall. There is a lot of glass. There are sharp objects, because the one I have near me actually has like knives and swords and old cavalry weapons. I would be moving away from that in case a poltergeist decided to throw something at me. I would not want to be near there. So if you folks have anything scary that you guys would like to tell me about, if you have a state you want me to do next, or anything you would like me to research, let me know and I'll see what I can find. I'm thinking next up I'll probably hit my home state, which is Texas. See what we got going on there. But as always, if you like the video, share with a friend and subscribe. It all helps me a lot and lets me know that you folks like these. And as always, keep on gaming.